video, we will look at independent clauses in detail. What are they? What do they do? Why do we have to know them? And then we will look at dependent clauses, which go hand in hand with independent clauses. First things first, one thing you will need to know and remember is that independent clauses can sometimes be called main clauses. Do not let this confuse you, they are the same thing. And just like that, dependent clauses can also be called subordinate clauses. I will use all these names throughout the video to help you become familiar with them. Another thing we need to know before we move on is to become familiar with the term clause. Let's have a look at what a clause is. A clause is a group of related words that contains a subject and a verb. The bare formula for a clause is subject plus verb. Like in the example of the dog jumped. We have a subject, the dog, and the verb jump. So this is a nice little clause example. Now we have the basics covered, we can look at independent and dependent clauses in detail. Let's have a look at independent clauses first. An independent clause is a group of related words which contains a subject and a verb and it expresses a complete thought. In other words, it gives the full information. This is the important part that we will need to remember. For example, yesterday she won the competition at school. The purpose of this sentence is to tell us that she won the competition. So we could have actually said, simply, she won. Both of these sentences are complete, they give us the full information, and they are both main clauses. Or, in other words, they are both independent clauses. Now let's have a look at dependent clauses. They are actually a lot easier than you think, and you will be able to distinguish the difference between subordinate and main clauses in just a few seconds. Your clue is that a dependent clause is not a complete sentence. We can say that subordinate clauses will not even make sense by themselves. They will always need help from the main clause in order to complete the message they are trying to give. Look at these examples. In the first sentence, we do not know what happened when she bought a new car. It has missing information. It does not make sense. In the second one, because she cried, so what? What happened as a result? What is the clause trying to tell us? It is not clear. But have a look at what happens when a main clause is added to these dependent clauses. Now we know what these sentences are trying to tell us, because the independent clauses came to the rescue and clarified the main message of the sentences. We can even say that dependent or subordinate clauses are almost like the extra detail, and without them, the sentences will still make sense. Although, if we don't have our dependent clauses, we may not always know all the detail. Subordinating conjunctions are often needed to connect independent and dependent clauses. There are so many different subordinating conjunctions. The ones that you see on the screen are only a few common ones. Feel free to Google to see a more comprehensive list. As long as you remember that the clause that comes after these conjunctions are always the subordinate one, you will be able to identify your subordinate clauses easily. You can test this by separating the clauses and reading them out loud by themselves, and ask yourself, does it make sense? If they have a subordinating conjunction attached to them, they will not make sense. Let's take these sentences for example. Because he was tired, he went to bed. Because he was tired. Does it make sense? Does it give me the full message? No. He went to bed. Does it make sense by itself as a sentence? Yes. As a result, he went to bed is the main clause, because he was tired is the subordinate clause. If you are late, you will get in trouble. Let's take the first clause, if you are late. Does that give me the full message? No, because I do not know what's going to happen if I am late. You will get in trouble, however, makes sense by itself. So I know you will get in trouble is my main clause. If you are late is my subordinate clause. It was noisy where he studied. Where he studied is a relative clause, and it does not make sense for itself. So we can say that the clause where he studied is our subordinate clause. Try this with the last two sentences, and I will give you the answers at the end. Do not call me unless it is urgent. Unless it is urgent is our subordinate clause. Although he doesn't like school, he still goes there. Although he doesn't like school is our subordinate clause. I hope you find this video useful. Remember to comment for requests and subscribe to our channel for our future videos. Thank you for watching.